What? Ah! Uppercut him! Uppercut! I don't know how I can play this when the buttons are all screwed up. They gotta be in the right order. Have you ever fired up your favorite fighting game in MAME, Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter, and the buttons just don't match exactly the way that you want them to? Well, this has happened to me many times, and it really frustrates me. So I have a solution for you. If you just follow along with me here, I'll show you exactly how to set it up properly. Now, of course, I've got this all set up on my arcade 1-up system using a Raspberry Pi with a RetroPie installed. But the first thing that you're going to want to do once you get that set up is hook up a USB keyboard. Any USB keyboard will work. This is just a cheap one I had laying around. And first thing you're going to want to do is hit the tab button in the game that you are trying to change the controls for. The 3 Mortal Kombat games have a particular order for the buttons. Here is the cheat sheet that I created in order to figure out the way that they do these. Now, if you go in here and you look, you'll see that they don't call it the high punch or the high kick or the low kick or the run button. It's just called button 2, button 5, button 3. I'm like, I don't know what those buttons mean. So I actually spent some time to try to figure out what each one of these are. And I can tell you right now that button 2 is the high punch button. Button 5 is the block button. Button 3 is the high kick button. And if we go down a little bit further here, you'll see that button 1 is the low punch button. This is where it gets weird. Button 4 is actually the low kick button. I would have thought that would have been block or run for Mortal Kombat 3, but it's not. It's the low kick button, so it's kind of reversed. And then you've got button 6, which that is the block or the run button. So all you have to do is go to each one of these controls here, like this. Then you push enter on your keyboard, and then you select the button that you want it to go to. Now we already know that button 2 goes to the high punch button, and the high punch button is the top left button. And then we'll go down to the button 5 here. That's going to be the block button. We'll hit the middle button there. And then we'll go to button 3, which is the high kick button. And then we're going to go down to player 2. We might as well go ahead and do player 2 while we're at it. So we'll do the same thing for player 2. Now, it goes back to player 1 button again. I don't know why it doesn't do it in order, but that's just the way they've got it set up. Now we'll do button 1, which is going to be the low punch button. Then we'll do button 4, which is going to be the low kick button, which is this one over here, which is kind of weird, so you have to hit that one. Then we're going to go ahead and do button 6, which is going to be the run button. And then we'll do the same thing for player 2. Alright, there we go. Now we'll just exit out of here. We'll hit the escape key on the keyboard a couple of times. Get out of this. And then we'll add a couple of quarters. Here. Hit start. Doesn't matter which one we're going to start with. We're just going to test it out here. And of course, I like to do the 2-player option here just so that I'm not being attacked by the computer when I'm testing it. Okay, high punch, that's good. Low punch, block button, the run button, high kick button, the low kick button. Okay, we got all those controls right for player 1. Check player 2. High punch, low punch, block, run, high kick, and low kick. So I think I got all the buttons correct for Mortal Kombat 3. Now, it's going to be the same for the other Mortal Kombats. Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 just doesn't have the run button. So everything else is going to be the same. And this is my cheat sheet right here on how I set this up. So take a good look at that. And if you just copy that, you'll be able to set it up for yourself. And then when we get down to Street Fighter 2, I think pretty much all the Street Fighter games have the same button layout. If I'm wrong, please correct me down below in the comments. But what we have for that is across the top, you're going to see the jab punch, the strong punch, the fierce punch, the short kick, the forward kick, and the roundhouse kick. We're going to do the same thing that we did for Mortal Kombat in that we're going to hit the tab button on our keyboard here to get to the game controls menu input. We're going to go specifically to this game. We don't want to change the controls for every game. Now, I've already set this up for my controls here. It's going to be a little bit different for yours. What I've done is I have my cheat sheet here, and it will tell you what each button maps to. So in this case, I have button 2. I'm showing that as the jab button, which I call the light punch button. Button 3 is the strong, which is the medium punch button. Button 5 is the fierce punch button, which is the strongest of all of the punch buttons. And then we go down to the other buttons. We've got, for the kick buttons, we've got button 1 is going to be the short kick, which is a light kick. Then we've got button 4, which is the forward kick. And then the button 6, which is the roundhouse kick, which is the strongest of the kicks. So just map those buttons, these numbers, exactly the way you have your button layout set up on your control deck. Exactly like this. And you'll be good.
Round 1, fight!
Okay, I got the jab. No! I'm trying to test the buttons, you're messing me up. Don't do that. There you go, I got that Hadouken there. There you go. Strong, or roundhouse kick there. To the face. Yep, I think I got all the buttons correct. Let's see if I can do the flying kick here. It's a little bit harder to do. Come on, do the fireball. Fine. There we go. I'll just finish you off with a kick. All right, so that works perfect. Oh, I should have checked the other side too. This is really weird playing it with joysticks. I'm used to playing it with the Genesis controller. Stop biting me in the head. That is so cheap. You're cheap! Ooh, I ran out of quarters! No, I didn't. I have unlimited quarters. Alright, well, I hope that helps you in figuring out how to set up your controls for the Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighter games. I'll go ahead and leave a link below for this document so that you can download it and use it for yourself to help you set up your controls on your arcade 1-up system with Raspberry Pi in it. It's kind of handy to have something like this nearby. Alright, well, if this helped you, please leave a comment down below. Click the like, the share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bite you in the head. That's how it's done. Take that, elephants. I just beat your master.